All right. Good morning. I'm here to be discussing about everything that has been up to this point of Christian belief is the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was may have not been crucified, the first crucifixion that we describe it as obviously Longinus going in, piercing much of his body, water coming out, blood spurting, or whatever it may be. This may be not the right crucifixion that had actually happened, right? In fact, it may have even been Cain, right? I go and say about this that this could be potentially Cain because one, the man was shameful. I mean, very much hidden with his face for many, many years. I mean, he was not comfortable with his own body, and they mocked and ridiculed him, and he was perhaps the one that we've been praying for so long. And I'm going to go in depth into detail about this right now. I have my screen. Hopefully, everything goes in just fine, but we're going to start with this particular picture here. Um, take a look at everything that's going on right now. The horse's head. I mean, dots placed intricately in different areas. I mean, the ass itself is not well designed and not fit and suitable to be the right body. I mean, the body itself, the body shape, take a look at the body. It's very, very wide. It's not to be determined like that of who we traditionally are praying for, Jesus Christ as being the perfect human being, right? In all things um reasonable, right? And I say this with some content that this is Cain, right? I say this very much um, clearly visually, and we'll get more into why I say it is Cain. There's a particular proverb that we're going to be going over, or verse we're going to be going over pretty soon in this lesson. But Longinus, obviously, in his name to mean to spear. I mean, this is Longinus. Longinus is a very handsome person, right? He's like very um he's a general, right, for the Roman Empire. He is a particular verse, and we're gonna go into it right now. Right here. Truly, this was the Son of God, right? This is to be of a mockery, and I'll do it in action, right? Truly, this was the Son of God, right? Truly, this was the Son of God. And that's what we should have in our minds, right? Is that that is how he was treating the whole circumstance. I mean, there are pictures and there's more illustrations going on where they have had actually made it so the emphasis of the middle finger to Longinus, he did not like um this particular individual in this I assume to be Cain. I mean, he did not like his face. What is this, right? It's a horse's face to cover its face of shame and it basically the mark that God had given him. I mean, moles and all that stuff, and I mean, and having those skin tags are may be perceived as um I don't know how to describe it, but like it can be perceived as I mean, it's a way of punishment, but also not necessarily sin, but like just of a nasty upbringing. A lot of this, I mean, science tells us, and I know we're going to get into more of a particular condition where there's fungi. Look at that, right? I don't think that's a Jewish cap because it says, or I've read already, that the Jewish people did not accept Longinus in really a, a welcoming manner. So this isn't like a cap or anything on his t top head or anything like that. It's just more of like, it's basically the lodging of a particular pine cone that they were doing and ways to obviously prevent Leviathan return and everything. So basically, they were assembly of army, and this is Roman, and it's weird. So I guess he was part of. Gosh, so I didn't even get into this. Yeah, I would just assume that then it being that. It's so crazy. It must have been. I mean, then we assume that Jesus may have been part of the Romans. I'm not exactly sure. See, this particular death may have been concealed, and then we'll go in. See, I didn't even pull up the particular picture, but I have it in my phone. I'll pull it up later, but this right here is due to, and if anyone has ever went through this whole, it's a very excruciating process. I mean, you're gonna feel super depressed if you ever try to go through this whole fungal um, and I know because I went through this whole process, and it's a very complicated process. You're gonna and if you do this you're expected to die around like 30, 40 years old. Okay, so if you don't get help before that, you're fucked. Okay, so so we're gonna look into this right now. There's a little bit of science going on. So um, what are we looking at here, right? It's basically bacteria growth, right? And it's um it causes basically a whole lot of things, right? Depression, it causes a lot of like a fatigue, it causes a lot of I mean, it's meant to look like this. You may be getting like early signs of this if you have it, right? It's maybe yellowish, but I mean not yet the black dots or anything like that. They say it's like the fingertips as well. You get some of that also. And let's see. Let's just go back to the anonymous painting as well. This was done. This was found 200. All right. This was found in 200. Was it 200 AD? I could be wrong, but I think it was 200. But it was discovered in somewhere 1500s, right? Um, some on some fucking mountain or something like that. So this is basically this, right? And they said that we only discovered this not only in only the 1950s, right? Or this was only mentioned later, right? And it's what they were fighting, it's what they were basically having to deal with. And yeah, well, I don't personally either it was Caine's inability to join the Romans in this whole process, right? Basically joining the army because dealing with this, I mean, it was must have been his refusal, or basically it was very much a scaredy cat his whole life. He was very just very had a lot of inconsistencies with himself, and it was, I mean, it was meant for the perfect sacrifice, you know. And I made mention, and we'll go into essentially the Garden of Eden, right? I've zoomed in a little too much here, but oh, what we're looking at here is essentially what could appear to be existence before existence, right? I made mention that, I mean, there you get like a particular interesting image here of the bird looking way too much into what's happening here, right? And a lot of it, the stick does not even look like a stick, right? And this is Leviathan, right? By the way, and a lot of it say this is Satan in the Garden of Eden. It was not Satan in the Garden of Eden. This is for sure um, Leviathan, and we'll get into Leviathan a little bit later. I don't think I even pulled up Leviathan, but I'll try to do my best to kind of explain what Leviathan is. Um, or at least the anatomy, or I mean the shape of it, and what I mean basically. Okay, well, I should probably get into it because Leviathan is like just present here right now. Leviathan is like some kind of interdimensional like sea creature. It is like a giant DNA strand. A lot of what's being sourced here, I mean, came from a flight bird, or a bird with flight, and everything, right? The white of its eyes, right? There's a little bit of white right there. Um, that's where it got its. I mean, it's a little orange here, and this is just more gloss. This isn't necessarily the white of its eyes, right? This is the gloss of Leviathan, right? Those aren't whites of its eyes. This is a little bit more of a white of its eyes. It's a little more dull in color, but we can definitely picture and pinpoint that this is more of an accuracy to of an existence of a prehistoric, or I mean, when it had lived during this time, uh, a shoebill, right? So. birds are looking over. I mean, these birds are kind of like whatever. I don't give a fuck. But this particular bird is looking over. Oh my God! Like, look what they're doing to my boy. Look at this stick, right? It doesn't even look like a stick. It looks like another piece of, of it obviously looks stick right here, but it's a it's like a venomous wasp sting or something, and it's hitting the head of this shoebill, right? This is how it sourced everything, right? Its ability to flight. I mean, its shape, its composition to scare the public and to scare the rest of society. Leviathan is not scary, right? I want to go into that. Leviathan is what I describe to be like it's defeated by humility. A lot of us, we're already humiliating beings. The earth isn't covered in water anymore. I mean, what is it that it's afraid of? I mean, it's just more of like a protector, and a lot of people are trying to image and picture us or picture that for the rest of society or for the rest of us living here for humanity, right? But Leviathan itself, I mean, if it entered the space, whether it be in on Earth, it would have to shapeshift back into like a regular small snake because there's no way that it could ever like or just be like a water snake or something if whatever it is that they're talking about with a meteorite hitting the water and a snake comes or whatever creature is hiding inside a meteorite if that's the size of the stadium what they were mentioning earlier in the news that had or astrologists um meteorologists were talking about the forecast of a meteorite hitting the water, but essentially what we're looking at here is a snake taking sourcing the genetic makeup of a shoe bill, right? So that's how it is. The flight, its eyes. I mean, the genetic makeup, I'm sure of it is quite interesting. And who do we relate this to? I mean, there's pictures online of like shoe bills eating monkeys, and I also made mention there's like a monkey in here, but then it's up here high and like high mighty. Now it's up here high, trying to describe that there's some kind of monkey in the trees. And I saw this earlier, but it'd be weird to try to investigate further. So I'll just say, look, there's a ton of animals around. There's a monkey right there, but maybe that's the joke. I'm well aware that it could be perhaps the two of the existence, right? Cain and Jesus in this particular imagery. It's I would describe, okay, so who would you get the genetic makeup from? Okay, let's see. Who is the monkey and who is the shoe bill, right? I think it would be, let's see, flight. Levitation. Is that more? I'm pretty sure it's the monkey because the monkey's more like an annoying and past thing, and I feel like the shoe bill is way more of like a contained, skinnier, and idealistic to what we're seeing as healthy and clean, right? Instead of a monkey who is probably like dirty and just annoying, and we would assume that to be Cain, right? So I'll talk about Secret Child maybe a little bit later. Maybe we won't even go into that. I do think the existence or that whole crucifixion is Cain. I don't think it's actually Jesus. And I'll go into why it's Cain, right? And from here, we'll look at this particular footnote and he's describing about, well, let's look at the passage first or the verse, right? Okay. And once again, he bent down and wrote on the ground, right? When they heard it, they went away one by one, beginning with the elders. And Jesus was left alone with the women standing behind him or before him. Jesus straightened up and said to her, Woman, what's this? Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you? She said, No one, sir. And Jesus said, Neither do I condemn you. Go your way, and from now on do not sin again. Now I'm going to go down and what the footnotes say right here. A little crazy, right? Other ancient authorities add the sense of each of them, or Lord. Now, Cain is a little ancient, right? This is from BC time. Cain is from BC time, right? Um, or Lord, right? Whoa, wow, isn't that weird? And then we think about the crucifixion, right? Lord Savior, who's the one who died on the cross for us, and like this would be the key to exactly and a little bit more of a connection to what I'm going for. Essentially, essentially, what it is his way of saying this is the sinner, this is the true sinner, or this is the one you want to go after him, right? And that, oh, right, that. And let's just go into that, right? Because a lot of people are kind of like weirded out by the UFOs and everything like that. But reality is, we should be looking at this, right? He was, I mean, skin tagged for the most part, Cain, right? This is the punishment, and this is basically the ultimate sacrifice that a lot of people were kind of perceiving. And we're following for so long, hundreds of years, right? People, hundreds of years. And this is crazy, right? No one's really talking about the genetic makeup of the shoe bill. No one has really been talking about exactly um, how to interpret Longinus's describing the Lord. And it was a joking manner, and it was an investigative process of setting everything up in his burial, right? And hell, I mean, yeah, I mean, wow, it's so crazy. Now we got to go more into this. I'll probably do another video on this later, but I'm just going off of exactly what's going on. I mean, this is just Cain all the way through. I mean, look at it. He's just I mean, he looks like distraught all the time. I mean, a perfect sacrifice, right? And this is exactly why some of you people need to watch your ass out there, okay? So look at this. The rigidness right here, you'll see a better quality picture I'm going off of, but this is basically a pine cone right here. They're lodging it in the etchings of their heads, and this is basically to do what exactly, right? And you go, what is going on? Why do they do this? Why do they put fungi? And it's to basically ward off. I mean, humiliation itself is the key to warding off a Leviathan. Leviathan just goes away, or just, I mean, I mean, if you're able to achieve that, you're basically, it's weird. They had like, I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna go into detail with that. I must have been seeing some stuff. I'll show you another picture of this some other time, but basically, there's some weird stuff going on down there, like a lobster snipping its penis and doing some other weird things. This, okay, sorry. Oh no, it's not going to appear on my screen, but all this right here, this is just pointing out to the perfect sacrifice, Cain, right here. And then, I mean, mention, right? I mean, there's blood stains right here. It's kind of like weird, right? I mean, it was just, Cain all along must have had done it. And obviously, I don't know. This is a submarine, right? The joke is the submarine. It's the joke, right? The swelling of a submarine ship or vessel or something like that. And meteorite, I think this is a particular meteorite. I think maybe it's a UFO. I think with the structure of it going like this, we have a little bit more of a debate. I don't think really is necessarily a giant UFO. And the size of this thing is like a size of a stadium, it looks like. I mean, it doesn't really seem that terrifying. I mean, then again, what does it look like now? I have no idea. I mean, it must have. I don't think it grew in size. There's no way. And if it ever came to Earth, I mean, it would just wouldn't um, do a bit of damage to us because we're all humiliating beings and we all do stupid things. And its appearance on Earth would just be like a small snake because we're all kind of like humiliating in some sense. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's it. Honestly, I think I got a lot of what I wanted to get off. I just wanted to describe at least the main points here that I mean a lot of what we were worshiping for so long it may have been not wrong, but it's the whole process, right? Leviathan itself, right? You think I'm stupid or you think Jesus is dumb, right? So this is Cain right here. You think what he's talking about is stupid. Think again, right? Longinus. This is Jesus's writings right here, I'm sure of it. This is to basically make fun of and antagonize or I mean bully the crap out of Longinus or I mean Cain. And Longinus is basically I'm bleeding out, I'm probably gonna die pretty soon, and I mean yeah. So and then I guess we'll pull up that particular picture. I'll pull up right now. I have it somewhere in here. Oh yeah, describing the head length. I mean, the head length is, I mean, that's all the head size, I mean, the head size of Cain is very small, right? It's not even in comparison. Jesus must have had like a bigger head because he was definitely commanding and leading an army, so he must have had to deal with a lot of dumb people. Let's see. A lot of stupid people. So, let's see. What is that? Jesus, burial, black and white picture. Oh, her is that autopsy. And we'll see. I think they must have. Let's see. What is it? The shroud turn. Okay, we'll go into that right now. Centuries. Evil appearance in 1980. Are they suggesting? Why do they say it was recent though? Which is weird. Okay, let's see. Featuring blood like stains. Right. So this is Cain, right? Is not okay. Let's see. Black image formation. Okay. This is for sure Cain, right? I mean, it's just all there. This. Let's do better. Okay. Let's do that. Nope. Not what I wanted to do. I just want a clear image. Right, the first thing that happens when you die is, I mean, cheekbones kind of they get skinnied out. I mean, ugh, let's see. I guess we'll just go off of, and then we'll just kind of like zoom in. I think we could zoom in from here. This is funny though, right? Uh, I did this. I'm not the Shroud of Turin. And that's funny. It's like something going on right here. But look at this right there, right? The fungi. I mean, it grows out. It finally blew up. The chest length. I mean, it's just fat, just like Cain's. There's no way this is Jesus, right? And we believed this for so long. And then I'm hoping Christian theologists and people who write the New Testament, Testament will start realizing and sort of building on their knowledge. And I hopefully, when we go to these churches, as theologists, we go and we observe how, hopefully they kind of like go into more in depth and how go into depth more into how these particular speak, right, or these particular individuals speak, right, which would be a good best form of psychology. So that's all I have for tonight. I might do another episode later. But hope you guys enjoy. I That's all I got. So, enjoy. Take care. Bye. Oh, okay.